Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about one quality which is going to help you to speak English fluently and confidently. Yes, you heard it right. I'm going to talk about just one quality which is really going to help you in achieving your target of speaking English fluently and confidently. So if you follow this advice, if you start developing this as a habit, this one quality as your habit, it is really going to help you a lot in your fluency, in your communication skills, in your English speaking skills. And what is that? I'm going to tell you in this video. So guys, on that note, welcome back to my channel. I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. If you want to learn English free of cost, if you want to improve your communication skills, if you want to know more about practice sessions, quickly subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, to write your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to press the notification icon. So guys, today I'm going to talk about consistency. How consistency is important, why it is important, and how it will help us to achieve our goal of speaking English fluently and confidently. To start with, I'm pretty sure you know what consistency means, right? Consistency means to be consistent or to be continuous. It means keep on doing or repeating a thing. So it means to keep on doing or repeating a particular thing or in a particular way. Now, how it is related to speaking English, I'm going to tell you. The first thing is, when you are learning to speak English, or when you're learning to practice or you're learning English speaking, so what you do is you come up with a plan. Right? You come up with a schedule, a routine, or a plan, like what you have to do every single day. So probably you allot a time, you allot a space, you allot some things to it, like exercises. You are going to do reading or writing or speaking or whatever, listening. So you come up with a plan or a schedule. And then when you come up with this plan or schedule, you have to follow it, right? So following that plan in that order means you are being consistent. Okay, and you have to plan your schedule or plan your learnings or plan your schedule in a way that it has to be consistent. It keeps on repeating every single day. It should not be irregular. Like if you plan today, I'm going to read for 15 minutes, today I'm going to write for 5 minutes, today I'm going to listen for another 15 minutes. And then tomorrow's plan is I'm just going to speak for 5 minutes tomorrow, and probably the next day I'm going to take a break, and after 3 days again I'm going to repeat the same activity, right? So that is not consistency. You are breaking it. So every single day, if you're following something, if you are practicing something or you're doing something, it means you are being consistent in doing that. So the first thing is, when you prepare a plan, you have to keep in mind that you have to be consistent in whatever you are doing, in whatever you are planning. If you are reading for 15 minutes today, you have to keep it the same for other days also. You have to chalk out a plan, right? I'm going to dedicate reading for 15 minutes. I'm going to dedicate writing for 5 minutes. I'm going to practice listening for half an hour. I'm going to practice speaking for another 15 minutes. Okay, so you have to be consistent. Every day has to be the same, because if you don't repeat the same thing again and again, it will not get registered into your brain. You have to train your brain first with the language, with the vocabulary, with the pronunciation, with English as a language, because it is new to you. So you have to first try to be familiar with the language, with its vocabulary, with its pronunciation, with the sentence construction, how it is spoken, the tone, the way it is spoken, where you have to emphasize the lots and lots of things, guys. So that is why consistency is very important. You have to have the same schedule every single day for a longer duration of time, at least for a month. You have to plan. You shouldn't plan for 2 days or a week. That doesn't work if you really want to improve your English quickly and easily. So it has to be 1 month. At least you have to follow the same schedule for a month to see what progress you have made. Okay. So here when you are planning, you have to be consistent. Coming to the next one is when we start learning English, what we do is we start looking for material or resources. So what we do is we go to YouTube, we go to different channels and we start searching for stuffs which will help us to speak English fluently and confidently, right? And trust me on this, guys, there are millions and billions of stuffs available on internet regarding the same subject. How you can improve your English, how you can speak English fluently and confidently, and what not. There are lots and lots and lots of stuffs available. Now, what many of us do is we start listening to every single thing which we come across, and that is where we are doing a mistake. We should not do this. If you start listening to n number of people, 10, 15 people, and everybody is different, everybody's idea is different, probably you might not be able to understand every individual's idea correctly or 100%. It will confuse you. You will be confused. So that is why don't do this. Stop doing this. If you have to be consistent, consistency here means listen to people and see whom you are able to understand well, whom you are able to relate well. See what if the channel is genuine, see if that person is genuine, right? There are n number of ways you can find it out and then follow that person. Listen to it. Pick out 3 or 4, not 10, 15 people at the same time. You cannot listen to. It's not feasible for you to listen to 10, 15 people at the same time. Nothing will go into your head. You will be confused. Your English learning journey will become very complicated and it will take a lot of time. So what you do here is listen to people and see whom you are able to understand well and you are able to relate to. Pick up those few, 4, 5 and start listening to them. So you have to be consistent in this. Don't pick randomly. Just choose 4 or 5 and listen to them. And do it for a longer duration of time, maybe for a month, and see what difference it's making in your life, right? So this is how you can practice listening. Whatever stuff you are listening to, just pick up some whom you are able to relate to and understand well. That is very important. That is really going to help you. So this is the second thing. Third one is the lots of practice sessions and practice ways, methods and techniques which people tell you about, right? But again, it's not feasible for us or each one of us to follow every single thing, right? So that is why I always say whichever technique, whichever exercise, whichever practice method suits you or you're comfortable doing with, start using that. Instead of using 10 methods, if you use 2 also, it's going to do wonders for you. Trust me on this. But you should enjoy that way of practicing. You should relate to it. You should understand well. You should be able to enjoy doing that. If you enjoy doing that, if you relate to it, if you are 100% into that practice, definitely it's going to help you a lot. It will be much easier for you to speak in English fluently and confidently and within lesser period of time. It will make your journey much easier for you. So that is why listen to things. Keep yourself open. Listen to people. But pick and choose only those which suits you, which you are comfortable doing, which you enjoy doing, and which you feel that it's giving results to you, which is helping you out. There are many ways of practicing English speaking. It's also important that you should know which level you are in. If you are a beginner, if you are an intermediate or an advanced level. And accordingly, you have to choose the challenge or to choose how you can practice. So if you choose according to your level, it is really going to help you a lot. So that is why you should know yourself very well and you have to be very consistent with what you are doing, how you are practicing. Practice is very important. It's the key, right? So if you're practicing the right way, nothing like it. Of course, you're going to see the benefits. Of course, you're going to get fluent and confident. There's no second thought. on it. So keep this in mind as well. So here also consistency is very important. You have to be consistent with those techniques which is helping you or which is giving you results. It's the same with your pronunciation and vocabulary also. You have to be consistent in improving or increasing your vocabulary and improving your pronunciation. Right, as I told you that without vocabulary you won't be able to speak English. You won't be able to come up with a sentence because words make sentences. If you don't know the words, how will you make a sentence? How will you speak? So the first task is to understand words and build vocabulary. So your first challenge is to build your vocabulary, enhance your vocabulary, or increase your word power, right? So that is where reading, listening, watching is very important. When you will listen to, when you hear things, you will get to know new words and you will be able to grasp those words, right? So that is why your other task is to be consistent in increasing your word power or improving your vocabulary every single day. That also has to be in your plan. So you have to be consistent with that. Now, once you have the word, you are increasing your word power, you are improving on your vocabulary, you have to improve on your pronunciation also. How to pronounce those words. If you're not able to pronounce those words correctly, how will the other person understand what you're trying to say? For example, if I have to say, I can see 3 layers of color on the wall. And instead of layer, I say liar. How will you understand? If I say, I can see 3 layers of color on the wall. Does it make sense? No. Right? The other person who's listening to me will also be confused like, what is she trying to say? Probably the other person can make out, but then he will have a doubt like, what is she trying to say? So that is why you have to be very clear in your pronunciation. You should work on your pronunciation. Whatever you're listening to, whatever you're reading, you should make sure whatever you're pronouncing, whatever the other person is pronouncing, you should practice it. You should try to speak the same way in order to learn a language or in order to speak a language. So vocabulary and pronunciation is very important. These are the building blocks or key for any language. If you're not able to pronounce well, you're not able to say things correctly, nobody will understand. They will get confused. Right? And if you don't have the words, if you don't have vocabulary to express yourself, it will be very difficult for you to say something. So that is why these are very basics and key for any language learning. If you want to be fluent in English, you want to speak English fluently and confidently, start working on vocabulary and pronunciation. And you have to be consistent. Like you have to make a target like every single day I have to dedicate to these 2 things. Right? Again, at least for a month. You have to do every single thing for a month at least, because it is a decent duration of time which will help you to understand or see if you have made any progress. Okay, and once you look back, that if you see that you have made progress, well and good. If you see that you haven't made much progress, then you have to introspect. You have to again see what mistakes you are doing, where you are getting wrong, which area you need more improvement on. If you have to change your techniques, if you have to change your method of learning or reading or writing or practicing, so you have to start introspecting. So but at least for a month you have to be consistent in every single activity you are doing. You should not skip. You should be continuous. That is the key. If you will be consistent, definitely nothing will stop you to become fluent and confident in speaking English. So guys, that's the end. I'm sure you'll learn a lot from this session and you will make sure that you are consistent in whatever you are doing. See you until next time. Keep watching, keep learning, keep practicing and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.